Hello, this is Emily from Let's Knit This Party Started, and I'm here to demonstrate for you the 1x1 right-leaning cable with a left side decrease and the same 1x1 right-leaning cable with a right side decrease. This stitch appears in my Picnic at Laurelhurst Hat pattern in the decrease chart. And it's a little bit tricky, so I wanted to make a little video just to help demonstrate what I mean in the written description. So I've started by knitting to these first two slip stitches in my swatch here, and I'm going to perform the 1x1 right cable with a decrease to the left. So I'm going to decrease this stitch right here on the left. So the first step in this sequence with a cable needle is to take that stitch off the first stitch off the left hand needle onto the cable needle just like that and hold it to the back and try not to lose all your stitches on your needle. And then you're going to just go ahead and knit that first stitch. And then again, without losing your stitches on your right hand needle, put that stitch on your cable needle back on the left hand needle just like that. And I'm going to drop my cable needle. And now I want to knit this stitch and this stitch together, but I want this stitch to be on top of this stitch. So I'm going to do it with a slip, slip, knit. So slipping knitwise, and then knitting the two together through the back loop, just like that, just like a regular SSK. And that's how you do a right hand cable with a decrease to the left. Now I'm going to undo that just so I can show you how I like to do it without a cable needle, because I find that very convenient. That works well for me. Make sure my stitches are not twisted. So for me to do this without a cable needle, I just go ahead and grab these two stitches like I'm going to knit them together, but instead of knitting them together, I'm just going to slip them off. And then I give them a little separation like that so I can see real well and go in between the two. And then I'm going to slip this stitch back onto this left hand needle kind of knitwise. So like putting my needle through the front loop here and then slipping it back to that stitch. And then I'm going to use my left hand needle just to knit this stitch just like that. So that's that first step that I showed you before. And then we're going to perform that SSK just like before. Make sure this stitch, it was twisted before, now it's not twisted. So now we're going to do our SSK, slip, slip, knit, just like that. So that's how you can do it without a cable needle, which I think is really nice. So now I'm going to knit to the next spot just so that I can, you know, not work that same spot over and over again. And we're going to do the right leaning cable with a decrease to the right. So we're going to decrease this first stitch. And in order to do that, first things first is to slip purlwise that first stitch to the right hand needle. And now we're going to perform a bit of our cable. So grab our cable needle and make sure it's behind the working yarn and slip purlwise that first slipped stitch onto your cable needle and hold it to the back. And then this is where it gets a little bit tricky, a little different from the one before. We're going to slip this stitch that we first slipped back to the left hand needle and knit the two together, just like this, just like a normal knit two together. And leave that there on the right hand needle. And now we're going to come back and get our stitch that was on the cable needle and slip it onto our left hand needle, or you can knit the stitch straight from the cable needle, whichever you prefer. And then just go ahead and knit that just like you normally would. And that's how you do it with the decrease to the right. And now I'll show you how I do it without a cable needle. And doing everything again, trying to make sure I actually don't have any stitches twisted. Okay, there we go. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay. So this is how I do it without a cable needle. I'll go ahead and slip that stitch. As if I'm going to knit them together, I'll slip these both at the same time. I'll separate them a little bit so I can see them real distinctly. Slip that one back onto the left-hand needle. Slip this same one also, this same stitch that's on the right needle back to the left-hand needle. And then this one, I'm going to slip it purlwise. So the way I slipped them is a little different. You can kind of see these were slipped with the front of the leg going towards the back. So I was like kind of moving them from front to back, if you can see that. And then this one, I'm just slipping it purlwise. So they are oriented the same way now. And I'm going to just start out now by knitting these two together like normal, and then knitting this one also by itself like normal. And that's the same action. So hopefully that helps. I really enjoy doing it without a cable needle. Once you get the hang of it, it can be really fast and like easy and make the project a little bit more enjoyable. But